So what is going on? What is going on with men in general? I've been on these YouTube spaces for a while, and I like to do some, debates back and forth. But what I realize is there are a lot of haters, and what I don't understand about haters is why they have to hate. You know, I may get into some heated debates. I may talk trash to people, but I don't recall ever telling someone that I hate them. Because why? I don't even know these people, right? Why would I tell them I hate them? But yo, people constantly be telling me that they hate me, and it's like, yo, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, yo, everything that I have, I had to work. I had to work hard. I'm in shape because I work out. I go to the gym. I eat well, right? So these dudes come up here and they tell me they hate. I'm like, yo, that's wild. I think a lot of the time that people experience hate towards others or express hate towards others, it's really a hatred of themselves. They have an internal hatred. They hate themselves. I got a good friend up on these YouTube streets, goes by the name of JP, J Prince for president. And I'm very good at judging character. And J Prince, he says a lot of wild shit, and he gets into a lot of online battles, and he's on welfare, and he doesn't want to work, and he is under the impression that working as a black man in the United States is a waste of time because he doesn't feel validated by others around him. He feels like his work would be taken for granted, and his energy, right? His soul is more valued allocated in other places, more valued in other places, right? But J Prince gets a lot of haters online. A lot of people talk down on JP. A lot of people, say that he ain't shit, and he should be ashamed of himself. He's not a man. But what I find very interesting about Jay Prince is that Jay Prince is a father who has full custody of his daughters. He takes care of his daughters. Another thing that I really like about Jay Prince is I've never heard him complain. He doesn't complain. He may talk trash about the system. He may talk trash about, the government, United States, whatever, and talk down on that whole system because he feels like it's an oppressive system overall. But he doesn't complain. He's not a complainer. And I don't like complainers. I'm not a complainer either. I don't complain. We all have our ups and downs in life, right? But at the end of the day, I have so much to be thankful for. But what I find so interesting about these haters that hate on Jay Prince and probably some people that be hating on me too is that a lot of these dudes is baby daddies. A lot of these dudes are up here on the internet, right? Talking for hours, talking trash, hating on people, talking down on people, gossiping. And it's like, yo, you got children. Where are your kids? A lot of these guys, I'm just using Jay Prince as an example because I think it's a good example in this situation. A lot of these dudes, they got kids and we've never seen their children. Where are their children? Where is their woman? Right? You can have a falling over your woman, that's another thing, but where are your children? How is it possible that you have children and you out here on YouTube streets gossiping and talking down on next dudes when the dude that you talking down in this situation would be JP? He's in his daughter's lives. He's there. He makes sure that his daughters eat. You could say what you want about him being on welfare. You could call him dumb. You could call him whatever. But he's in his children's lives. That's one thing I realize about a lot of these dudes on YouTube. They like to talk down because they don't really have much. A lot of these dudes, they may have a job, they may, you know, have a car or whatever, but they're not really in a position to talk down on somebody like Jay Prince, because what really matters is your family, it's your lineage, it's your legacy, right? These dudes will come up here and talk down on women, complain about women, complain about all types of things. People on EBT, whatever. But you're not even taking care of your own children. What kind of man is that? Anybody that's watching this video, if you got children that you're not taking care of, that's step number one of being a man. You're not a man. How is it possible that you could create children and you're not taking care of them? That to me is wild. That to me is so wild. So these dudes, they say what they want about me. They say what they want about someone like Jay Prince or others. And it's like, yo, I don't know. I just been doing a lot of debates. I've been going on live streams. I'm gonna tone it down with the live streams. I may go on panels, whatever, but I'm gonna tone it down on the these one-on-one, these personal live streams that I do solo. Gonna concentrate on my other content. But I be out here working. I be out here putting out videos. I be out here editing hours at a time. I edit, I clip, and that's like, maybe you're not doing content creation, but maybe you're doing something else in your life. You gotta put in work. You gotta put in a lot of work to succeed in anything. You can't just be out here thinking, this is why I like, I started gardening a few years ago. I had some trees, I had bonsai trees, I was growing fruits and vegetables in my backyard. When you're growing food or you're growing anything, it really shows you how the world works, because so many seeds that I planted that would just die. You could plant a seed, you could take the best care of it, water it all the time at the perfect time, give it fertilizer, give it the perfect amount of sun, and it could just die. One day it could just, you go outside, it's just withering and it doesn't come back, it just dies. But the more you put out, the more seeds that you've put out, you will see success. You'll see a percentage of success, of return. That's really what life is about. So many people up here, they're just worrying about the wrong shit. It's crazy. It's crazy. I like to debate. I like to go back and forth, have discussions, but a lot of these people, maybe you included, maybe this, if you're watching, this is your wake-up call. You're not concentrating on the right shit. Straight up. What matters is our family, our lineage, right? Sure, not everyone wants to have children, whatever. To each their own. But who do you have around you that really cares about you? Your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, your aunts, uncles, grandparents, parents. It's the love in your life that matters. That's what matters in this world. Right? So just too much complaining. Dudes need to come up and start really putting in work and stop the complaining. So when I think about my YouTube journey here, my YouTube channel here, yeah, it's slow growth. I'm not doing anything wild to go viral. I ain't doing all that punk ass shit to go viral. Shout out to Mexico Dro. I'm not trying to get a fast come up. I'm really putting in the work. I'm really planting all the seeds. Right? This YouTube is my garden right now. And I'm not trying to hate on nobody. You guys could do you, right? I don't say these things out of a place of hate. I say them out of a place of observing people who have success and reflecting on what has been successful in my life, what has brought me success in certain aspects. You want a healthy body, you want to be in shape, you got to put in the work. You got to eat properly. You got to really go out there, walk, run, lift them weights. You want a YouTube channel to build, to grow, you got to put in work. You can't just come up live and talk about what, right? So why are these dudes complaining? I don't understand. Why are they hating? Just hating just to hate. They're just hating just to hate. There's no reason to hate, but they just hating just to hate. And there's so many women that complain about men, the state of men, complain about how men are not what they used to be and how men are in the gutter. And yeah, a lot of these women, they're pretty trash themselves too. They don't deserve to be criticizing anybody. But there's some truth in that. A lot of these dudes, they're like putting out an image. They're putting out like a fake facade because they're saying one thing, but what they're doing in their life doesn't reflect what they're saying. So I like people that do what they really say. Their actions are what matters. I look at most of the people that criticize me on YouTube. There was one dude yesterday that was screaming at me. And I found out later that this dude was pulling out firearms on police. A black dude, a real ghetto black dude, can't even speak English. And I'm just like, yo, I don't miss. Like my haters are just gutter people, trash people, low quality people that ain't doing none. So it's really bad for my ego. It really pumps up my ego where it shouldn't be, because everybody that comes against me, everybody that hates on me, they're miserable and they ain't doing nothing. They ain't going nowhere and they came from nowhere. I don't put myself up on a pedestal. I don't pretend to be greater than I am, but I'm not going to allow people to diminish me when I know the work that I put in. In terms of education, I worked very hard on my education. And when I call people dumb, you got to understand this is something that is fully in your control. It's your fault that you don't pick up a book and read. You rather watch the football game. It's your fault that you don't research, topics that could enrich your mind, and you rather be on TikTok or on YouTube gossiping. That's your fault. Don't blame me, because I could express myself and I really know about the things I talk about. I don't talk about things that I don't know. Everybody has expertise in something. So in my arena of expertise, these are the things I talk about. And I've earned that knowledge because I really studied these things. I looked into these things. Right? So I earned my right to talk about the things that I talk about. So I just see a lot of dudes, they're punching out of their weight class. They're trying to talk on subjects that they have no business talking about. I just heard recently that China, they outlawed people talking about certain subjects online because this is a worldwide problem. People just be out here talking about things they don't even know one lick about. That's the real problem with men nowadays. Men have very low levels of expertise, very low level of skill, and it's all talk. It's all talk. These dudes are all talk. When I see black women saying how black men ain't shit, shout out to these women on these channels. They know who they are. I like to push back because I myself am a black man, so I take some offense to them giving blanket statements. But at the end of the day, a lot of these women are right. A lot of the things they say be justified when they talk about how black men are in 2025. Low level of education, high level of promiscuity, jumping from woman to woman. If you're young and you're trying to smash, look, go experience yourself. I when I was in my early 20s, I definitely had my fun. I went out and I explored, right? That's the time you want to go from woman to woman, right? You don't have to be out here breaking hearts and lying to them. Just be genuine and be who you are. But who you are has got to be something of substance. And you're gonna pull, right? But these dudes that get 2 children from 2 different women, 3 children from 2 different women, 3 children from 3 different women, and they abandon their children to go out and chase some more tail. This is what these women are talking about. Y'all really ain't shit. Y'all ain't bothering me though. Y'all ain't bothering me, I'll tell you that right now. I am not bothered. I just think it's sad for you. It is sad for you. Sad for you.